Okay, so Algebra 1, today's objective is to write the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. So first thing we're going to talk about are parallel lines. Parallel lines are two lines that never touch, and the reason for that is because they have the same slope. So for example, y equals 2x minus 7 and y equals 2x plus 9 are parallel, because the slopes of both are 2. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is writing the equations of lines. We want to write the equation of the line parallel to y equals 3x minus 4 and passes through 4, negative 1. So in order to write the equation of a line, we have to use the point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. In order to use this equation, we have to have an m and an x1 and a y1. Well, we have x1, y1 because of the 4 and negative 1. So y minus negative 1, x minus 4. Our m is going to be the same as our m from the equation that I gave you, which is 3. So we take that, we plug it in for m. And then we simplify that like we have been. Y minus negative 1 really means y plus 1. Distribute the 3, and you get 3x minus 12. And then we get y by itself, so minus 1, minus 1. And you get y equals 3x minus 13. And there's our answer. So that means y equals 3x minus 13 and y equals 3x minus 4 are parallel, and y equals 3x minus 13 passes through 4, negative 1. So problem number 2, this time we want it to be parallel to 2x minus 3y equals 7 and negative 6, 4. So again, we're going to use the y minus y1 formula, but we have to have a slope and a point. Our point's obvious, our slope is not. So from this thing, we have to solve it for y. So we do minus 2x minus 2x. That gives us negative 3y equals 7 minus 2x. From here, we have to get rid of that negative 3, so negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. This 7 over negative 3, we're going to leave it just like that. We're not actually going to use it, so just leave it. Negative 2 and negative 3 makes positive 2/3 x. So the slope of this line is 2/3. So that's what we're going to use in our formula. So m equals 2/3. Here's our x1, y1. So y minus 4 equals 2/3 x minus negative 6. Now remember, x minus negative 6 really makes plus, and we distribute. So y minus 4 equals 2/3 x plus 4. Then we add 4 to both sides. So you get y equals 2/3 x plus 8. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines meet to form right angles, and the reason they do that is because the slopes are opposite reciprocals. Opposite means change the sign. So from positive to negative or negative to positive. And reciprocal means flip it over. So for example, if we have a slope of 2/3, the opposite reciprocal would be negative 3/2. From positive to negative, and we flip it over. If we have a slope of negative 4, the opposite reciprocal would be positive, and 4 flipped over is 1/4. Okay, so you have to change the sign and flip it over. So on problem number 1, this symbol, this upside down capital T, means perpendicular. So we want to write the equation perpendicular to y equals 3/4 x minus 4 through 6, negative 1. When we look at this equation, it has a slope of 3/4. Well, for perpendicular, we need the opposite reciprocal. So we flip that over and change the sign. So our slope will be m equals negative 4/3. And then we go back to our formula that we've been using, y minus y1, so y minus negative 1 equals m x minus x1. So that means negative 4/3 x minus 6. And we distribute and simplify, so y plus 1 equals negative 4/3 x plus 8. Then we do minus 1, minus 1. So y equals negative 4/3 x plus 7. And there's our answer. Okay. The second one we're going to do, remember this upside down t means perpendicular. Perpendicular to 2x plus 3y equals 6 and through 12, 2. Now again, 2x plus 3y equals 6. In order to find the slope, we have to solve it for y, just like on our parallel example. So we're going to do minus 2x minus 2x. So 3y equals 6 minus 2x. Divide by 3. So y equals 2 minus 2/3 x. So the slope of that line is that negative 2/3 because it's what's in front of the x. But for us, for perpendicular, we need opposite reciprocal. So that means it's going to be positive 3/2. Then we go back to our formula. Y minus 2 equals 3/2 x minus 12. And when we simplify that, we get y minus 2 equals 3/2 x minus 18. Then we add 2 to both sides, and you get y equals 3/2 x minus 16. Okay, so that's 4 examples, 2 for parallel, 2 for perpendicular, and your homework for this day is page 354, numbers 22 through 44, the evens. So numbers 22 through 44, evens.